Hello, my name is Professor Trujillo. I'm a librarian here at West LA College, and the following is a video tutorial on how to search a library database for information on business communication. So you'll see how to narrow your results, your list of results, through the selection of keywords as well as the use of Boolean operators to narrow your selections to make your search a little more efficient. And you'll see also how to find more recent articles and how to find specific source types.
Okay, so we are going to explore a library database, how to search a library database. So I'm on the college's homepage right now. I'm going to come here to the bottom of the page in the blue banner and click on library to get to the library's homepage. And from here, I can either start searching here in this main search box, and this is called a discovery system. It searches all of our databases at the same time. Sometimes that's a better choice, but other times it's better to search a more specific database, which is what I'm going to do for this search. So I'm going to click on databases and scroll down to articles. And under EBSCOhost, I'm going to select Business Source Complete. Okay, so it's blocking me from entering because it has to know that I'm affiliated with West LA College. So you would enter your student ID number where it says username, and then your password is going to be the 2-digit month, 2-digit day of your birthday. So if you were born December 26th, your password would be 1226. So it's not the password that you would use for the student information system that you use to register for your classes. There's a separate password for library databases, and it's the same one that you would use to access the wireless network on campus. Okay, so now that I've entered my information, it knows that I'm a West LA College user, so I'm allowed into the database. And the first thing you'll notice is a simple search box, just one single search box, kind of like what you'd see in Google. But in this database, and in any database, I would select Advanced Search, and that'll take me to this guided search screen where I can have multiple search boxes, as well as these commands. They're called Boolean operators that will help me to modify my search. It'll help me to make my search a little more specific. So I'm going to start with something very general. I'm going to start with business communication and press enter and just wait for those results to load. Okay, so I have 36,000 results, which is okay. I'd like it to be not quite so many. So I'm going to change my search a little bit. I'm going to put business communication in quotation marks. This is called an exact phrase search. And what that does is it tells the database that I don't want just any article that has the word business and the word communication. I have to have those two words right next to each other. They have to be in that exact order right next to each other. And so that brings me down to about half that number. So I'm down to just 26,000 results. So I came down quite a bit by adding that condition. But that's still a very general topic. So I'm going to kind of scroll down and see my results and see if they're what I had in mind. They're all related to business communication, but it's just such a broad topic that the articles are kind of all over the place. So I'm going to change my search. I'm going to add a second term. I'm adding another term which tells the database that both of these, both the phrase business communication as well as this second concept have to be in my results. So I'm going to type in correspondence. So like emails, letters, official kind of written communications, and I'm going to click on search. And now that I have two conditions instead of just one condition, it brings me down to even fewer results. Now I have just 830 results, which is a lot better. So as I scroll down and take a look at my results, they're a lot more focused. Okay, so this is more along the lines of what I was thinking. But one other thing I can do, so right now my articles are arranged from newest to oldest, but I like my articles to be ranked by relevance, which means that the results that most closely match my search terms will be listed first. So I'm going to change this to relevance. So it's still at 830 results, but now you're seeing like business correspondence, business communications, business writing. So the results that match my search a little more closely are listed first. But by changing from newest to oldest, I also have some information, some articles, like this is going back to spring of 1972. That's really too old. I probably want to stick to something more recent. So I can come here to the left where it says publication date and just slide this little marker over to, let's say, I probably want to stick to articles written after 2010. So I'm just going to wait for the results to load. And so now I'm down to even fewer results because I've limited it to just the last 8 years. And now I'm down to 221 results, which is a lot easier to search through. Okay, so when I find an article that I like, let's take a look. Okay, here's a good one. Produce newsletters that people can't wait to read. So that might be about communicating with the public. This comes from a periodical, so some kind of probably like a magazine, a trade magazine, newspaper, or something like that. Now this sounds interesting too, grammatical versus pragmatic error. So this is from an actual academic journal, a scholarly source. So I'm going to click on this. And unfortunately, I don't see the article itself. I just see an abstract which tells me a little bit about the article. So I'm going to go back to my list of results because I can't really access this article. So I really want to stick to something that says full text, either full text or PDF full text. So let's say I'm interested in this article. If I click on this, I should now have access to the full article, which I do here where it says full text PDF. So I can read the entire article. Okay, so let's say I look at this article and I decide that this is a great article, and I end up using it in my paper. If I go here to the right and I click on this icon that looks like a piece of paper, it lists the citation for this article in different formats. So I can go scroll down to APA and I can actually just copy and paste this into my references page at the end. Just kind of keeping in mind that if you do that, just sort of remember that these citation generators aren't always correct. They'll save you some typing, but they're not always 100% correct, so you still have to double check it. So one thing I notice offhand is that the author's name is capitalized, but it really should not be capitalized. So little things like that might still need some work, but at least it'll save you a lot of typing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my results page. And let's say I have a few articles that I like. Let's say, okay, I want this one. I want number 7. I want number 9. So now I've clicked on this little folder icon, so they're all saved to this folder. So if I'm ready to maybe stop searching now and come back to this later, I'm going to go to my folder before I log out, and I can email my selections to me. Okay, so just enter your email address. And in your subject line, I'd recommend that you put something meaningful, articles for business, and that'll help to minimize the odds of this email ending up in your junk folder. And then just click send. And that way you have the information. You don't have to worry about remembering where you found it, or if you're going to be able to find it again, you should have it in your email. It might not be the article itself, but it'll at least be the information about the article, like the citation information, so that you can easily find it again. So I'm going to do another sample search. And I'm going to stick with communication. But this time I'm going to say leadership, and I'm going to click on search. And remember, by using and, I'm saying both of these terms have to appear in my results. So by adding and, I'm making my search more specific, so it narrows the number of results that I have. Again, I'm going to narrow my results as well by going to articles written in 2010 or later, published in 2010 or later. So now I'm down to just 7,600 articles. But as I scroll through, so I do find quite a few about leadership, but some people use, maybe I'm interested in communication and management as well as leadership. So either one of those terms is fine, because I know some people will say leadership, some people will say management, some authors will say management. They're not exactly the same thing, but they're very close. They can be closely related. So I'm going to come back to my search, and I want, for sure I want communication, but I'm fine with results that have the term leadership or management. Either one of those terms is fine with me. So I'm going to say leadership or management and click on search. And my 7,600 results, 7,642 results go up to 1,000,000 results. So that's a lot. So I definitely need to narrow this down. So I'm finding a lot more articles just because I've now said that either one of these two terms is fine. Okay, so I do want to narrow it because 1,000,000 is way too many to search through, but I want to narrow my results the right way. I don't want to exclude good articles that talk about communication in management just because I'm using the term management and the author used the term leadership. Okay, so I still have my date selected, so I'm still looking at articles written after 2010, which is good. But I'm going to narrow my results to articles that were published in scholarly journals. Okay, so that brings me down to 363,000 results, which is a lot better. So even though I want to narrow my results, I want to do it the right way. I don't want to narrow my results by excluding good search terms. So or will get you more, and will get you fewer results, but or will get you more, or expands your results. Okay, so let's do one more search. And I'm still going to stick with communication, but this time I'm going to try conflict resolution. So again, both of these terms have to be there, both communication and conflict resolution. But if I leave conflict resolution like this, I'm going to get so many results. So I'm going to put conflict resolution in quotation marks because that is an exact phrase. Okay, so it's only 383 results, which is pretty good. I'm still filtering to articles published in 2010 or later, and I'm looking only at scholarly journals. But let's say I'm not interested in scholarly journals. I'm going to uncheck that. And let's say I'm going to click here on source types so that I can select results that were published in trade publications. So trade publications would usually be written for readers in a particular industry, and it'll be written for other professionals in that industry. And they don't have the same scholarly standards that an academic journal might have. Okay, but so then I have much fewer results. I have 39 results, which is probably too narrow a selection. So I probably would want to expand it back to academic journals because that's really not very many. It's not enough to choose from. Okay, so this is one way these are some ways that you can narrow your results. Okay, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact a librarian. Thank you.